Hi everyone, I am your Muse Tracy and I am your favorite manifestation coach. I am here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and suffering. You're not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you're more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I offer one-on-one coaching and you can find the information for that in the links down below. All right, you guys, so I'm back today. This is my after yoga look. If you've coached one-on-one with me, you've seen me look this way once or twice before. There's many different ways that you can alchemize and transmute energy. One of my favorite ways is through moving my body, specifically with yoga, but also with other things. It's highly recommended, and that's what I did this morning, and I got very inspired. So here we are recording. And today what I want to talk about is how competition is an illusion. And I only wish right now in this moment I was a more practiced editor so that I could couple that wink with a ding of a bell. I'll get there. Okay, so competition is an illusion. And the first thing that I want to talk about is, and I've talked about this before, but just for, if you haven't heard me talk about it, and just to reiterate, the measure of how you're doing as a conscious creator, as a master manifester, I'm going to try to speak slowly. My brain is racing. It's going like, I'm so inspired. Anyway, I'm going to try to speak slowly and clearly and not jumble my words. The measure of how you're doing is not in your 3D reality. That's not the measure of how well you are doing and how good you are as a conscious creator. No, 3D is old. It's dead. It's the past assumptions. And I've also spoken about this many times with my videos about reacting. Most of the time, the contrast or the old assumptions showing up in your 3D reality comes after you've achieved a new level of consciousness, right? As I've said before too, your triggers, your past assumptions coming up to, show you what you assumed, show you what you thought about, is a gift. It's a gift. And trust me, you guys, I didn't always see it that way, but I've trained myself. I've learned how to see it as a gift. They are confirming the change, your change of consciousness, or the lack of change, right? So the things popping up in your circumstances are not showing you how well you're doing. I really want you guys to understand this, because this is where a lot of people think they're failing at manifesting. No, if you have opposite things showing up, that is confirming your change. Or is it confirming the lack of your change? Your reaction will tell you crystal clear how you're doing. It's your reaction. It's what's going on inside of you. Now, another thing I want to talk about is you are not trying as a master manifester or a conscious creator to achieve perfect 3D reality that contains no contrast. No, also a very big misconception. Sorry, this is part of this realm. The light, the dark, the good, the bad, the wanted, the unwanted, the happy, the sad. This is literally what this realm, this time-space reality that we're in, is based on. It's based on it. And, I think you've probably all heard this. If you've heard Abraham Hicks, they talk about, this in detail. So this is one of the things that I absolutely resonate with, that their teachings. And, I want you guys to remember, you are not trying to achieve a perfect 3D reality with no contrast. The contrast in your reality is for clarity. It's for confirmation. It's for you to decide, oh yes, here is my past assumptions. Do I like it or do I not like it, right? That's it. That's all that it's for. So what are you going to do with the contrast when it shows up? Again, that is your indication of how well you're doing as a conscious creator or a master manifester. It's not telling you what you're doing, how well you're doing. How can a mirror tell you you did something wrong? A mirror is not telling you you did something wrong. A mirror is just showing you, hey, this thing is what you used to believe in, you used to dwell on, you used to expect, you used to assume. Period. End of story. That's all a mirror can do. That's all your 3D reality can do as well. So it's really important for you to understand that it's not the measure. It's not the measure of how you're doing. So competition, again, imagine there's a ding, can only exist if you say it does. It can only show up if you assume it can be so. It can only show up if you don't know who you are, if you have a misunderstanding of who you are, right? And, you know, I'm sure we've all had this experience, maybe not all, I know I have, this experience of thinking that there could be someone better or someone chosen, because at the time I didn't know who I was fully. I didn't know that what I say goes. I didn't know if I said, ooh, maybe there's someone better. Ooh, I have to be different. I have to be something in order to be chosen. I didn't know that I could just declare and command my reality to show me that I'm chosen, right? So competition is at its basis, the concept of competition at its basis is a misunderstanding of who you are. Period. End of story. And if you've created a circumstance that's portraying competition, as I have in the past, which I'm going to share with you guys now, again, that reflection showing up is not telling you that you're a bad creator. No, it's doing the opposite. It's showing you, here's what you created. You created this. Do you like it? Okay. You probably don't, because, you know, it's not the truth, right? And your higher self is giving you messages that that's not your truth. There is no one better than you. There is no one that can be chosen over you. That's why it feels so bad. It feels terrible. And that's guidance from your higher self. And again, what are you going to do with that reflection? Are you going to choose to remind yourself, oh yeah, okay, hold on. I accidentally previously believed in that. I accidentally believed that someone could take from me. I actually accidentally believed that someone could compromise me. I accidentally believed that someone could, you know, interrupt me, assert in my reality. Say it as many different ways as you want to. Okay, well, I see that that is my thoughts clearly, and I'm going to change that. I prefer to change that. I know who I am more clearer now. And of course, there is no such thing as competition. There is no such thing. That is an illusion, and that is showing me what I previously assumed to be true. All right, so here is my 3P story, you guys. And yes, I did have a 3P early in my journey manifest, well, not early, midway, I'd say, in manifesting my specific person. And I've shared this in one-on-one coaching, but I've never shared it in a video. But so the way this showed up, first of all, I want to talk about, I was so ready to shift my reality. I was sort of inviting the old stuff to come and show me, which you can do, by the way. You can tell your higher self, you know, talk to your higher self that you've changed, that you are ready to face the demons. Please don't do this if you're not ready. You really should be ready. And I know at some part in my journey, I wasn't ready. I still feared my opposite thoughts, my opposite assumptions. I didn't think I could handle them. And, you know, that was my truth. And I knew I would get there. And then when I knew I was ready, I had the conversation with my higher self and I invited them in, and boy, did they show up. And so when it showed up, not only did I know what I had asked for from my higher self, I said, okay, let's go, let's have it. I'm ready. I will, you know, have a different reaction here. I will handle this differently. So not only did I do that, so I knew when they showed up that, am I really going to react to this? Because I know what I did just, I don't know, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, however long it took. And then not only that, but the way that the third party arrived was so specifically, it was exactly my fear to a T, how it showed up. Okay. So when you see that reflection to that amount of detail show up, again, was I really going to deny that I had that very specific thought? I could have, but I knew too much. So I didn't react. I had a conversation, because that's what you do in 3D. You respond, you have a conversation. But internally, I knew what was going on. I knew it was my creation. I knew I was in control. I knew I didn't like it, but I knew I was in control. And so my third party, the one and only, thank you. Well, in this relationship, I should say, there was another one in a previous relationship before I knew I was manifesting. Okay, so again, obviously there was some concept of competition in my beliefs, in my programming. But in this relationship, it was the one and only, and she was gone in 2 weeks, you guys, never to be seen or heard from again. And there was no manipulation, there was no begging, pleading, nothing. There was a non-reaction on my part. Now, when I say non-reaction, I'm not telling you that I didn't feel something. I felt something. It didn't feel good, right? So I'm not talking about the emotion. And I've tried to make this crystal clear, but it's worth repeating here in this video because I am talking about reacting. So reacting isn't what you say. It's not even what you feel, okay? It's what you feel to some degree, but it's what you do with your assumption. That's really what a reaction is. If you allow something in your 3D to tell you what to think, feel, and believe is really the important thing here. If you allow something in your 3D to tell you what to think, to feel, to believe, you are reacting, okay? So I didn't react because I said, ooh, that's my creation. That was my fear. And it doesn't feel good. This does not feel good, but I am not a victim. I know what I want, and I had some limiting beliefs come up. Oh, wow, she must be good. Oh, wow. Some of these things, comparison things came up within me. For what? For the purpose for me to clear them, for me to choose something different. And I did. I said, I'm not going to entertain that because she can only be, oh, wow, if I say she's oh, wow. And I don't prefer to say she's oh, wow. I prefer to say, I am oh, wow. I hope you guys are following what I'm saying. So I did have these things come up. There were still things within me that needed to be chosen correctly. So I didn't have a reaction. I knew what was happening. I processed what was still going on, and I went right away to the assumption, SP is committed to me and only me. We're in an amazing relationship. And so I've never, shared this story on my channel. I have shared it in one-on-ones, and this is how you get rid of a third party. This is how you get rid of competition. This is how which getting rid of, really what I mean by that, because you're not getting rid of anything, you're shifting to another parallel reality where it doesn't exist. And that's what I did, because you see, that third party was a projection of my consciousness. It was a projection of my insecurities, my fears, my doubts, again, me not knowing who I was. And that was the reality, the parallel reality that I found myself in. And when I found myself there, I didn't stay there. I said, this is not what I choose. I know who I am. I know I created this. I am going to right now. I didn't wait, you see? This is what most people do. Oh, I know, but I know SP is in a relationship over there, and you hold them in a relationship over there with that assumption, by the way. You don't need to wait for evidence that SP is with you. SP is choosing you. you don't need to wait for evidence. And if you wait for evidence, you are going to wait forever. You don't wait. How can you wait on evidence that's waiting on you? Okay? You create the evidence. Let's quote Neville here. Evidence follows what? Your assumption. Your commitment to an assumption. Evidence follows, it does not precede. So you won't get evidence that SP is no longer with a third party before you assume it. Feel free to assume it. This is your reality. Is it delusional? I don't know. I don't call it delusion because I know it's creating. I know how reality works. I know who I am. I'm deciding, I'm choosing, creating. You guys understand, I don't mean you're creating it. Everything is already created. You're choosing, you're stepping into what you now prefer to experience. It's already done. It's already created. You choose where you want to go next. The mirror cannot smile at you if you have a frown on your face. It just doesn't work that way. It never has, never will, and it can't. That's just not how it's set up here. You have to smile because you're delusional. Okay, smile because you're delusional if that's what you want to call it. Or I would prefer to say smile because you know you're creating. Smile because you know as within, so without. You smile, everything around you smiles because everything around you is a mirror. Right? So this is the problem that I see a lot of people, again, because of their past self-concept, create a third party. They create it. It's always your creation. It can't be anything other than your creation. I know it's not the easiest thing to hear, but look within yourself. Do you have beliefs that say you're not enough? Do you have beliefs that say you're not always chosen first? Do you have beliefs that say you are obviously the only choice? If not, just be honest with yourself. Okay, you guys, this takes unbiased self-observation in order to change. Unbiased self-observation. I'm pretty sure that's straight from Neville as well. Unbiased, which means you're not judging yourself. Why are you judging yourself for your beliefs? They're 9 times out of 10, not your fault. Not your fault. It's someone else's programming that you at a young age absorbed, and you didn't know you had a choice, and so you took on the belief about yourself. And then not only did you at a young age take it on, because you were already a creator, I know you didn't know, none of us did, you kept perpetuating it, creating more evidence, and it grew more and more and more within you, inside you, right? This is how it works. So if you created your SP to be with a third party, it's your creation, okay? We're not blaming, we're just taking an unbiased look, and we're taking responsibility because you can't change what you're not responsible for. So taking responsibility and then changing those concepts about yourself and committing to a different reality, committing to see something different. And if you commit to see something different, you will. That's how this works. There's nothing else going on. All right, you guys. So that's it for this. Oh, no, it's not it for this video. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, yes. Okay. So I told you guys I had been to yoga this morning. And it's funny because class was starting and these 2 people came in. They were late, but they were coming in. They were, joining the crowd and getting set up. And there was a little bit of like, do I want to be here? Do I want to be there? And so this man set up just to the right of me, and his companion set up on the other side of him. His companion moved to the other side of the room, and then he was gonna move as well. So he got his mat and picked it up and moved over there. And then he ended up coming back and being next to me. We did the whole class side by side. I didn't really see him other than out of my periphery until the very last posture. The very last posture, we're doing spine twisting, and I turn and I'm now staring at his right arm. And on his right arm is this quote. Fate said to the warrior, "You cannot withstand the storm." And the warrior responded, "I am the storm." Oh my gosh, you guys, I got the biggest smile on my face. You see, there are no coincidences. There are no things just happening. There are no people showing up in your yoga with a perfect quote meant just for you. There's none of that happening. But sometimes you'll get a clear message. Your higher self will give you a message that, yep, you got it. You're on the right track. You're doing well. It's up to you to see the message, know exactly what that message is, and take it and run with it. Know what it means. There are no coincidences. All right, you guys, that's it for this one. Leave me a comment down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.